This is the Business Maker Show, heard here and seen online at thebusinessmakers.com. It's guest time in the show, and for those of you who are watching online, the video online, can tell I'm not in an ordinary interview setting at all, because I'm at the new tasting room at City Center, and my guest today, who is also a former guest on the show, is the founder and CEO of Lasco Enterprises, the company that runs and operates and owns the tasting room, Jerry Lasco. Jerry, welcome back to the Business Maker Show.
Russ, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, the tasting room experience has always been, in my opinion, a major success story, but my goodness, this new one, it seems to be truly extraordinary. Tell our listeners about the tasting room at City Center.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the initial vote of confidence.
Right.
We've wanted to come into City Center because this area of Houston is really booming. In fact, somebody told me recently that the longitudinal center of Houston is Beltway 8 and I-10.
Wow. Okay.
So this is now the new epicenter. So
right.
we've grown with that, and we love the center and everything that it's doing. But the opportunity to come here, it was a fairly large space, and it was a great opportunity to create the patio and the outdoor space, but it presented us with some challenge. We felt like if we were going to try to replicate something as large and, frankly, as successful as our Uptown Park location, we wanted to truly focus on making it a flagship. So we wanted to bring food front and center. We brought an oven right out in the middle, a wood-burning oven right out in the middle of the bar. We wanted a huge patio because Houstonians, love to be outside whenever they can get away from the air conditioning.
Right.
And we wanted a great indoor space that showcased all of our wines. So those were the three criteria that we wanted to do, and hopefully everybody feels like we've accomplished that goal.
Okay, well, and it's larger than the Uptown tasting room, correct?
Yeah, total square footage for seating area here is 13,500 square feet. So it might be the largest wine bar in the world.
My goodness, okay. Well, speaking of the largest wine bar in the world, I recently came across a statement that just blew me away, and that was that the tasting room, your other very large tasting room in Uptown Park, serves more wine by the glass than any wine bar in the world. Is that right?
That's what we're told by our distributors.
Okay.
And, combined in Houston last year, we'd sold about 1 million glasses of wine.
My goodness. Well, from a business person's perspective, that's pretty cool. I know you're offering it sort of as a convenience to your customers to be able to taste some real fine wines by the glass. But boy, from a profit margin perspective, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, that really is what we're looking for. And I think something, our scale, when we hit that point of economies of scale, it worked for both the customer and us as the business owners, because we could afford to have enough opportunities out there, enough bottles of wine that we could present by the glass, because we had enough customers in there drinking it, so we weren't getting stuck with a lot of half-empty bottles.
All right, okay. Well, my goodness. So I rolled back. It was June of 2006, our episode 55 of the Business Maker Show. You and your partner, Jonathan Horowitz, were on the show at the time. And even at that time, we were already sort of sensing the success of this formula, the tasting room formula, which, from sort of a startup business person's perspective, was very impressive, because we all kind of have been told that starting a bar and a restaurant is one of the most difficult businesses to start, with one of the highest failure rates. And you guys just seem to be knocking down all the barriers and continuing on. Has it been a piece of cake the whole way, or have there been challenges?
No, there's absolutely not a piece of cake,
okay.
and plenty of challenges along the way. So we're coming up on 8 years that the Tasting Room Uptown Park is open. It'll be 8 years this late summer. That location started off as 900 square feet. In 2 employees, myself and my sister-in-law, opened and closed the place, bartenders. We were the managers and the dishwashers.
Okay.
So we had a good following, a really loyal crowd that enjoyed what we were doing, and that crowd still is with us today. I'm running into those people every day, and it's really cool going back and talking about old times when it was, 2 people running a place and then, a handful or a dozen customers. But we expanded, we grew organically as demand. Uptown Park was 5 different iterations of that location,
right.
5 little baby steps towards its size right now. So I think our growth rate and pace was on par for what we needed to do, but we had to figure out along the way how to do it, how to make money. Trying to make money in this business is very difficult because our margins are really low. If people go to, their local wine shops or, the big boxes, the big
right.
liquor stores, they'll see wine at a certain price, and that's in their head. So when they come here, one of our rules is anything that we have on premise can't be more than twice what the cheapest price in the country is retail.
Okay.
So, back in the day, restaurants had 3, 4, and 5 times markups.
Oh, yeah.
We're less than 2,
Oh, yeah.
which is hard, and we have to do a high volume to make that work.
Right. Well, I so distinctly remember the interview, which is really almost 5 years ago now, because here your partner Jonathan at the time was a practicing lawyer who was giving up his practice to do this, and you were already down the path a bit of giving up your pilot's license. You were a commercial Continental Airlines pilot, correct?
That's correct.
And both of you seem to really be interested in getting into the food and the beverage business, and you along with your wife Laura. And my goodness, so today you don't even think about flying an airplane. Jonathan doesn't practice law anymore, and you've brought on more higher level executive staff as well, correct?
That's correct. And, the caveat is no one said we were smart. But we were passionate about what we were doing, and maybe a little foolish and a little crazy, but we worked hard, and
Right.
it's knock on wood, it's working out so far.
Well, I remember